Hello, my name is Bruce Webster and I'm here to explain why the NDIS Consumer Watch is asking for an inquiry and why it is important you sign the petition. It's great that the NDIS is finally here, but unless you are a disability professional, you most likely aren't getting all the support you need, and you are almost certainly not being delivered the support you're entitled to by law. The assessment process is one of the most important stages of getting supports, but it is being glanced over. Most people don't want to be evaluated. After all, it can be very invasive. But the NDIS Consumer Watch wants you to know that it is essential that you request your rights as a citizen. It doesn't matter if you don't want to vote, but it will matter if you get left out. If you are disabled and you are dependent upon services, your rights and supports as a citizen will most likely be ignored. Have a look at Heather's video. She even asked to vote, but was ignored. View the correspondence between the NDIS Consumer Watch, the Australian Assistant Electoral Commissioner and the Department of Health and Human Services. The department lies and doesn't support Heather to vote, yet Danny O'Kelly officially states, "I confirm that the department provides assistance utilising resources from the Australian Electoral Commission to both residents and their carers to participate in the forthcoming electoral process. Government service provision, namely the Department of Health and Human Services in Victoria, state they support the participation of people with disability in electoral processes. This is largely a lie, and they fail to collect statistics to substantiate their claim or provide statistics to the Victorian Electoral Commission to substantiate sound democratic process and engagement. Of course, you're only eligible to be an Australian citizen if you are born in Australia or have been naturalised, if you're 18 years of age or older and you have the capacity to make an informed decision. This is exactly where people with disability are being ignored. Government does make communication assessments, but not capacity assessment, and this is where people with disability become left out. In the current council elections, as in the 2014 state election, the Victorian Electoral Commission continues to misrepresent instructions to vote and the mandatory component of Commonwealth law. They state, if a resident can meaningfully and intentionally indicate they want to enrol and/or vote, either verbally or using their communication aids, they should be provided with assistance to do so. This is where people with disability are being excluded. Government law is compulsory and the Victorian Electoral Commission needs to ensure that all residents vote. People are being left out and they are not being engaged properly. This is a blight on disability services and the NDIS. The Department of Health and Human Services does things the easy way and is apathetic in ensuring the rights of people with disability. The NDIS Consumer Watch suggests that if you're a parent or guardian for someone with significant intellectual disability and you are getting your individual support plan drawn up, make sure you ask for communication supports to enable you to participate in electoral processes if you require them. For a person with disability in care, a communication assessment is foundational for carers to learn and to be able to use to ensure the best support possible is provided to the person with disability. Also, don't forget to enrol on the electoral register. As a guardian or a parent, you probably know best. You will know how well decisions are made by the person with disability, but don't be too critical. I have often been told by people with a disability, I have a disability, I'm not stupid. We shouldn't underestimate people with disability and their capacity for making decisions, whatever they decide to do. You are in your rights to ask for a communication assessment to help determine eligibility as an Australian citizen. Or you can just state eligibility and the required supports necessary to participate in electoral processes. View the Commonwealth Ombudsman letter where he states, it would be concerning if a participant did identify that they needed support services to enable them to participate in the electoral process, but the NDIA refused to fund such services. If you are disabled and you are dependent upon services, your rights and supports as a citizen will most likely be ignored. Don't be the person with disability that gets left out. because if you are left out of participating in elections, you can bet your bottom dollar you'll be left out of a lot more. Please sign this petition. It's your right. People with disability deserve to be counted and must be fully included in the disability reform process, not excluded and put in the too hard basket. I'm Bruce Webster, saying goodbye for now.